Hi everybody, Joven here, one of the fly tying ambassadors at Drift Outfitters, and today we're going to tie up one of my favorite Baetis patterns by Lance Egan. It's a kind of color variation on his thread Frenchie, but when fished at the right time, this can be a really super and effective fly. So let's get started. Silver Bullet Baetis. In the vise I have a Hanik 450 BL in a size 16. It's probably my most common size of hook to tie these on, with a 2.5 millimeter slotted tungsten bead in silver. And for thread, I'm going to be using Vivus 12/0, my go-to threads for smaller nymph patterns. So let's get started. Start your thread behind the bead. It's going to start a thread base. Cut that guy off all the way near to the end. Let's get that out of there. Near the end of the shank before it starts to curve. And for the tail, we're going to use Coq de Leon. To be honest, I do not know what color this is, but honestly, any really works. Really just going to farm out 3 to 4 fibers, just like that. Oop. The rest of the feather came in. And we're just going to tie that in about a shank length. I don't like my tails to be too long. Like that, give it a pinch wrap. With that loose wrap, you can bring your tail forwards and backwards, see where it is. Yep. I like that. I'm just gonna bring that all the way back up and cut out the excess right here. So the original pattern calls for a UTC Ultra Wire in small and Sculpin Olive, but if you don't have Sculpin Olive, brown works just fine. So we're just gonna tie this in. I like to tie it into that slot of the bead, if I can see, and right on the side facing you, because we're gonna wrap over. Just like that. Move that to the side. Now, where you find consistency in your Euro style nymphs, I like to build a little bit of taper in the fly. So I like to find checkpoints on the fly and wrap forwards and backwards. So the first set of wraps, I'm gonna go all the way to the end, to the hook point, bring that all the way back, go to the middle of the fly, bring that all the way back, and then around halfway of the point, middle point and the bead. And there we have a pretty decent taper. And now we're just gonna wrap up that wire. Don't want those tailing materials to flare on us too much. Around 3 to 4 wraps is good. Just gonna tie this off. 2 on top, 2 in front. Fold that back over itself. Helicopter that off. Now we're gonna take some resin and really lock this in, make it more durable. I'm gonna use Solres Bone Dry for this. Really just lightly coat this fly. Pardon my hands. You don't want too much resin on there because you want to see the rib a little bit come through. Just gonna dab off any excess. Hit it with the light. Should be good. And final step, to finish off this fly, we're gonna take a little bit of ice dub. You can see gone through this pack pretty much. It's about a season's worth. Just gonna take the smallest pinch of this. Kind of looks like a lot on this lens, but I promise you it looks like about 6 to 7 fibers if I were to count it. Just gonna evenly dub this on our thread. Slide it up. See, that's a little bit too much, so I'm just gonna pick that off. Finish that off. Give it a whip finish. Cut off our thread. Clean this guy up a bit. There we go. There you have it. Silver bullet Baetis.